In this video, I'm going to show you the exact steps I took to hire my video editor for my YouTube channel, and I'll even share the script I used to make sure I hired the right person for the job. And at the end, I'll even tell you how much I spent on this experiment. This year, I decided to start a YouTube channel to help entrepreneurs and solo founders to successfully start and grow their business while avoiding some of the pitfalls that I run into myself. My secret wish, however, is to be able to visit the YouTube creator space in Tokyo next time I'm in Japan. The space is only open to YouTubers with more than 10,000 subscribers. So if you are an entrepreneur looking to start or grow a business, consider subscribing, as I only need 9,968 more subscriptions to reach my goal by October this year. So every subscription counts, and I'm counting on you. All right, back to the subject. If you are trying to start a YouTube channel, you'll often hear things like, you just need a phone. While this may be true, that's a bit of an oversimplification. People telling you that quickly forget the time it takes to find an interesting subject, write the outline or sometimes even the full script, edit the video, create an attractive thumbnail, publish the episode and promote it. Now, I don't know about you, but I only have 24 hours each day, so I need to find out what is actually bringing value and what is not, so my YouTube channel doesn't take all my time. Although I can edit and cut videos myself, this could easily take 6 hours per episode to do well, and I don't think this is where I can add the most value personally. I then decided to outsource this particular part of the process from day one, so I can focus exclusively on the content, its delivery, and still produce one episode a week. That said, like a bad sauce can ruin an entire meal, I wanted to make sure that the video editing process will not damage the delivery of my content. And so this is how I did it. The first step in such project is to determine exactly what to outsource. I needed to be crystal clear on what I needed to outsource to save my time. I wanted to make my life easier, basically recording myself talking about a subject and have a video editor cut the parts where I screw up. Point 4, it's 4. Then add great visual transition, supporting text, and some B-roll to break the monotony. The second step is to create a test project. For this, I simply recorded the first episode that I wanted to have in my channel, then I dropped the video file together with a music track in a folder that created a link that I could then share with everyone. Creating this test project also helped me practice what I would be doing each week to make sure I did not forget any step in my process. Step 3, deciding on a good platform. There are many platforms to choose from when it comes to outsourcing work. In my case, I decided to use Fiverr. Fiverr allows people to very quickly showcase and spell out explicitly what their service is. I also have Upwork as a backup if this didn't work out, but I wanted to test the easier platform first. Step 4, find multiple freelancers who can do the job well. On Fiverr, I simply searched for YouTube video editors, and of course that led to hundreds of results. Unfortunately, the Fiverr search filter is pretty bad, and I ended up opening each offer in a separate tab. Then I quickly assessed if this was a good fit or not, and I did this for probably the first 10 pages of results. I quickly discarded video editors specialized in editing video games footage, drone, and other unrelated topics, and I thought the skills were not quite the same as with talking heads type of videos. And so I primarily focused on freelancers who can edit vlogs. Also, don't believe everything you see in portfolios, as I've seen freelancers using the video of a YouTuber I'm following to showcase their work. When called out, the person said they just put the video that a friend gave them. Yeah, a friend. Step 5, contact the seller and lay out your vision. This is pretty straightforward. Ideally, you have a quick brief that you can simply copy-paste for each seller. In typical Netflix culture style, I wanted to lead with context, so the video editor could express their creativity freely. This is particularly important to minimize my time managing the person while ensuring a high level of creativity and flexibility should the format of my videos change in future episodes. And simply put, this makes outsourcing way more enjoyable for both parties. So my script sounded like this. Hey Mr. Seller, I'm starting a YouTube channel and looking for a long-term relationship with content video editor for weekly videos. Here's the data I would provide per episode. There I just inserted the link to my folder containing the first episode. These will be talking heads videos mostly, so you need or maybe want to spice it up with zooms, transitions, bullet point text and or B-roll. Here is an example of things Noah Kagan did to spice up those talking heads. Then I inserted simply a video link of a YouTube video that I actually quite like. What's the cost you foresee for those episodes? That's it. At this stage, I discarded automatically anyone who took more than 24 hours to come back to me, as this was a clear sign that these gigs are not a priority for them. And I don't want to rely on freelancers who don't really take this seriously enough. Once they gave me their quote, and this was within an acceptable range, I asked them if they can give me an example of their work that would match what I was looking for. Assuming I was happy with the sample, I will give them the actual spec and letting them know that I'll compare their work with what other video editors would produce. This is what I wrote back. Great! Rendered file should be in 25 frames per second for 1920 by 1080 pixels, like the source files. What's important for me is to make it interesting and capture with text overlay, with style, interesting points. Full disclosure, I'll be comparing work with other people on Fiverr to determine who I want to carry on with for future episodes. Hope you're cool with it. I'll simply compare the results of the other video editors I short selected on the same episode you have, and I'll make a call for future episodes. If this works for you, send me your quotes for the job and I'll accept it. Step 6 is to determine the rating system. Now, since editing my episode will take a few days, I started to think about what's important for me. Since it's unlikely that one editor will be pleasing me with everything, I needed a quick scoring system that will force me to prioritize what is important for me. So in my case, I had 5 different criteria. Number 1 was about communication. Everyone who operates as a submarine is a potential red flag. If they ask questions, this is a good sign that they're engaged and they are not afraid to ask you for what they need to do the job well. For example, my editor asked me for the name of my channel that I forgot to mention, and a picture of myself that he could use for the intro. Another editor asked me to share a high-resolution logo of my company. Long story short, the ability to communicate is very important. If there is a problem with one episode in the future, you want to know it quickly. Which brings us to point number 2, delivering on time. For my channel, I choose a weekly cadence, which means I want to publish one episode every week. If they can't stick to a deadline, I don't think they're the right person for the job. Point number 3 was the overall quality of the video. Now this one everyone is used to. You look at a video and you see if the video is cut properly, with the music nicely integrated, what font did they use, is the text pleasing to see, and so on and so on. Point 4 was creativity. I want someone who sees this as an opportunity to work on a cool project and is not afraid to try things out. If it's interesting to watch for me, who knows the content already, there's a good chance it will be for other people watching. So far, it's been really fun to see what my editor will come up with. In the last episode, he came up with animating 2 caps on my head, one for employees, one for business owner. That was totally unexpected, and it actually made me smile. Finally, point 5 was the ability to receive feedback and improve. Now, I want to be working with my video editor for as long as possible. Part of the deal is that they will improve, so the channel quality will go up. Inability to act on feedback will make my life harder and make me doubt that they will improve the way I need them to. And this, in my opinion, is what makes the difference between good and great. So I provided feedback for every video I received and watched how they reacted. Some welcomed the feedback, others simply ghosted me. One final note about Fiverr. Some tried to get me to accept gig before sending the results. Others send me part of the delivery, asking me to accept, and they will send the rest later. And some simply kept asking for more time. Just make sure you don't accept until you have everything done. In the end, I had 2 potential editors that I want to work with, and I went with my favorite one. So thanks, Joe, for the great work so far. How much did this experiment cost me? I ended up spending $680 on the first episode as I paid 6 video editors. I was not surprised by the wide range of quotes I received, from $30 up to $210. But I must say that I was very impressed by the quality of some very low quotes compared to some higher ones. If you're interested, I added the links to all the videos that were produced in the description below, so you can check for yourself the difference in quality. The biggest disappointment came from the freelancer who asked me for $90. The video was worse than the $30 one. His lack of interest for a job well done really rubbed me the wrong way. I ended up settling for $150 per episode. If you have time, I'm pretty sure you can obtain a good video editor for $50 per episode or less, but it will take some time to train them, so you'll need to make sure they handle feedback very well. My video editor scored many points by taking my feedback to heart and making a revised version that addressed all the remarks. The good news is that now I can focus purely and solely on making my episodes. And that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.